Welcome to the PR Maven Podcast, a podcast all about growing your network and building your brand through traditional and digital networking techniques. I'm Nancy Marshall, the PR Maven and CEO of Marshall Communications. Stay tuned for this week's episode, and thanks for listening. Welcome, PR Maven Nation, to this week's mini episode, a quick and informative look at beefing up your branding. This is episode number 151 of the PR Maven podcast, which is presented by Marshall Communications, creator of the 65-step Marshall Plan process. For more information, visit marshallpr.com. And on the website under PR Maven, you will find information about my two books, PR Works and Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand. So PR Works was my first book, How to Create, Implement, and Leverage a Public Relations Program for Your Small Business. And Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand was published last year. And it's really a guide to developing your personal brand, which is more important than ever in this world that is largely virtual. This week, I will be sharing my Forbes Agency Council article, Beefing Up Your Branding. Don't forget the Xyz Statement and Brand Manifesto. And let's dive right in. So your branding needs work. Perhaps you're updating your mission statement, and perhaps you're trying to appeal to younger generations on Snapchat and Instagram. Whatever the case may be, individuals, companies, and products need to be branded correctly with the target audience in mind. Put thought into the who, what, where, when, and why. After all, branding is how you make people feel. It is the essence of what makes an individual, a company, or a product unique in the broader marketplace. But too many people forget the steps in the branding process, or they take shortcuts, which can undermine their appeal to the target audience they have in mind. If you rush the branding process, it probably won't be effective. As the first step in the process, I recommend coming up with an XYZ statement. Here's what that means. I do X. X is what you do. For Y, which is who you do it for. So they can Z, which are the benefits of working with you. For example, if you're an accountant, here's a sample XYZ statement. I do financial accounting for clients in the marketing industry so they can achieve long-term financial stability. Once you've figured out an XYZ statement, the next step is to put together your personal brand manifesto. Generally speaking, your personal brand manifesto is a document that spans 1 to 2 pages and goes into detail about what makes you, you. It is like your resume, but laid out in biographical format and with supporting details to make the words pop off the page. Let's say that you run a mid-sized accounting firm. In your brand manifesto, you would go into detail about your company's history. In other words, when it was founded and under what circumstances, how your company grew over time, what challenges you faced and how you overcame them, and what your future prospects may be. The brand manifesto encapsulates your firm's past, present, and future, but with a personal touch. It helps to figure out the problems of the past, in other words, high turnover or client instability, how you solve them in the present, and how you may approach them in the future. As with branding in general, the goal is to evoke feeling so that people who come across your brand manifesto can see the entire picture of your accounting firm and what it means to those it serves, from employees to clients. The feeling of the company may be accuracy or efficiency or loyalty. Perhaps it's a family-owned business and the feelings are camaraderie and togetherness. Or maybe the accounting firm comes across as cutthroat and competitive to the general public. The feeling just needs to be set in stone. Once you finish the Brand Manifesto, you will likely have a much better understanding of your overall branding. It's not just about determining your target audience and reaching the proverbial them. In many cases, my clients learn exponentially more about themselves through the branding process. From the XYZ statement to the Brand Manifesto, you can uncover details about your story that you never even considered at first or you forgot over time. It's common for people who are new to the branding game to think that they know everything about themselves, but the branding process can get you from the point of thinking to knowing. Only then can you get to the final goal of feeling. That is making people feel the right way about you, your company, or your product. It's really quite simple. You can't brand yourself in the broader marketplace if you don't exactly know what you're branding. Too many people make assumptions without doing the dirty work of exploring themselves. I have found that most people, even those in business, have never even heard about XYZ statements or brand manifestos. But as the Greek philosopher Aristotle is often quoted as saying, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Once you know yourself, you can understand your target avatar. In other words, your target audience. If you can solve your target avatar's greatest problem, what keeps them up at night, then your brand may forever be valued and valuable. The key is for your value proposition to be laser targeted at the target avatar. So they read your XYZ statement and say, wow, that's just what I need. You want to help your target audience sleep through the night. What I recommend to my clients is to figure out the XYZ statement, then the target audience, and then the best way to communicate that message to the audience, whether it's through PR, advertising, social media, special events, direct mail, or some combination of all methods of communication. It's never too late to beef up your branding as long as you don't skip steps. Start with your XYZ and go from there. You may even surprise yourself in the end. So that is my Forbes Agency column that I wrote about beefing up your branding. For more insight, you can get access to my latest book, Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand, by visiting prmaven.com/giveaway, and you can download a free copy. And here is my very good friend, Julene Gervais, talking about Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand, and how it has helped her grow the audience for her 2 PBS television shows, Greenlight Maine and Elevating Voices.
Hi, I'm Julene Gervais, host of the television program Greenlight Maine. Nancy Marshall's book, Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand, helped our team tremendously develop a loyal following, and it helped us expand with 2 television programs called the Greenlight Maine College Edition and Elevating Voices. Plus, we've picked up 3 Emmy nominations. I highly recommend you read Nancy's book to grow your brand.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the PR Maven podcast. I invite you to share a review of the podcast on iTunes or your favorite podcast player. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode. You can also join the PR Maven Nation on Facebook. It's free to join, and it's a great community of like-minded individuals who are all looking to learn and grow from one another. If you use an Alexa device, use your Alexa app to search the Skills and Games section to find and enable the PR Maven Podcast Flash Briefing. This will give you access to exclusive content and more PR and marketing advice. Thanks again for listening, and have a great rest of your week, PR Maven Nation.